नमस्कार। आप सभी को 7वें अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। आज जब पूरा विश्व कोरोना महामारी का मुकाबला कर रहा है तो योग उम्मीद की एक किरण भी बना हुआ है। 2 वर्ष से दुनिया भर के देशों में और भारत में भले ही बड़ा सार्वजनिक कार्यक्रम आयोजित नहीं हुआ हो, लेकिन योग दिवस के प्रति उत्साह जरा भी कम नहीं हुआ है। कोरोना के बावजूद इस बार की योग दिवस की थीम योगा फॉर वेलनेस ने करोड़ों लोगों में योग के प्रति उत्साह को और भी बढ़ाया है। मैं आज योग दिवस पर यह कामना करता हूं कि हर देश, हर समाज और हर व्यक्ति स्वस्थ हो। सब एक साथ मिलकर एक दूसरे की ताकत बने। साथियों, हमारे ऋषियों मुनियों ने योग के लिए समत्वम योग उच्यते ये परिभाषा दी थी। उन्होंने सुख दुख में समान रहने, संयम को एक तरह से योग का पैरामीटर बनाया था। आज इस वैश्विक त्रासदी में योग ने इसे साबित करके दिखाया है। कोरोना के इन 1.5 वर्षों में भारत समेत कितने ही देशों ने बड़े संकट का सामना किया है। साथियों, दुनिया के अधिकांश देशों के लिए योग दिवस को उनका सदियों पुराना सांस्कृतिक पर्व नहीं है। इस मुश्किल समय में, इतनी परेशानी में लोग इसे आसानी से भूल सकते थे, इसकी उपेक्षा कर सकते थे, लेकिन इसके विपरीत लोगों में योग का उत्साह और बढ़ा है, योग से प्रेम बढ़ा है। पिछले 1.5 सालों में दुनिया के कोने कोने में लाखों नए योग साधक बने हैं। योग का जो पहला पर्याय संयम और अनुशासन को कहा गया है, सब उसे अपने जीवन में उतारने का प्रयास भी कर रहे हैं। साथियों, जब कोरोना के अदृश्य वायरस से और इस अदृश्य वायरस ने दुनिया में जब दस्तक दी थी, तब कोई भी देश साधनों से, सामर्थ्य से और मानसिक अवस्था से इसके लिए तैयार नहीं था। हम सभी ने देखा है कि ऐसे कठिन समय में योग आत्मबल का एक बड़ा माध्यम बना। योग ने लोगों में ये भरोसा बढ़ाया कि हम इस बीमारी से लड़ सकते हैं। मैं जब फ्रंटलाइन वॉरियर्स से, डॉक्टर से बात करता हूं, तो मुझे बताते हैं कि कोरोना के खिलाफ लड़ाई में उन्होंने योग को भी अपना सुरक्षा कवच बनाया। डॉक्टरों ने योग से खुद को भी मजबूत किया और अपने मरीजों को जल्दी स्वस्थ करने में इसका उपयोग भी किया। और आज अस्पतालों से ऐसी कितनी तस्वीरें आती हैं जहां डॉक्टर्स, नर्सेस मरीजों को योग सिखा रहे हैं, तो कहीं मरीज अपना अनुभव साझा कर रहे हैं। प्राणायाम, अनुलोम विलोम जैसी ब्रीथिंग एक्सरसाइज है हमारे रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टम को कितनी ताकत मिलती है, ये भी दुनिया के विशेषज्ञ खुद बता रहे हैं। साथियों, महान तमिल संत श्री तिरुवल्लुवर जी ने कहा, नोई नाडी नोई मुद्दल नाडी हदु तनिक्कुम वायनाडी वाय पच्चयल। अर्थात अगर कोई बीमारी है तो उसे डायग्नाइज करो, उसकी जड़ तक जाओ, बीमारी की वजह क्या है ये पता करो, फिर उसका इलाज सुनिश्चित करो। योग यही रास्ता दिखाता है। आज मेडिकल साइंस भी उपचार के साथ साथ हीलिंग पर भी उतना ही बल देता है और योग हीलिंग प्रोसेस में उपकारक है। मुझे संतोष है कि आज योग के इस पहलू पर दुनिया भर में के विशेषज्ञ अनेक प्रकार के साइंटिफिक रिसर्च भी कर रहे हैं, उस पर काम कर रहे हैं। साथियों, कोरोना काल में योग से हमारे शरीर को होने वाले फायदों पर, हमारी इम्यूनिटी पर पड़ने वाले सकारात्मक प्रभावों पर कई स्टडीज हो रही है। आजकल हम देखते हैं कई स्कूलों में ऑनलाइन क्लासेस की शुरुआत में 10-15 मिनट बच्चों को योग प्राणायाम कराया जा रहा है। ये कोरोना से मुकाबले के लिए भी बच्चों की शारीरिक रूप में तैयारी कर रहा है। साथियों, भारत के ऋषियों ने हमें सिखाया है, व्यायामात लभते स्वास्थ्य, दीर्घ आयुषम बलम सुखम, आरोग्यम परमम भाग्यम, स्वास्थ्यम सर्वार्थ साधनम। अर्थात योग व्यायाम से हमें अच्छा स्वास्थ्य मिलता है, सामर्थ्य मिलता है और लंबा सुखी जीवन मिलता है। हमारे लिए स्वास्थ्य ही सबसे बड़ा भाग्य है और अच्छा स्वास्थ्य ही सभी सफलताओं का माध्यम है। भारत के ऋषियों ने, भारत ने जब भी स्वास्थ्य की बात की है तो इसका मतलब केवल शारीरिक स्वास्थ्य नहीं रहा है। इसलिए योग में फिजिकल हेल्थ के साथ साथ मेंटल हेल्थ पर इतना जोर दिया गया है। जब हम प्राणायाम करते हैं, ध्यान करते हैं, दूसरी यौगिक क्रियाएं करते हैं, तो हम अपनी अंतर चेतना को अनुभव करते हैं। योग से हमें ये अनुभव होता है कि हमारी विचार शक्ति, हमारा आंतरिक सामर्थ्य इतना ज्यादा है कि दुनिया की कोई परेशानी, कोई भी नेगेटिविटी हमें तोड़ नहीं सकती। योग हमें स्ट्रेस से स्ट्रेंथ की ओर और नेगेटिविटी से क्रिएटिविटी का रास्ता दिखाता है। योग हमें अवसाद से उमंग और प्रमाद से प्रसाद तक ले जाता है। फ्रेंड्स, yoga tells us that so many problems might be out there, but we have infinite solutions within ourselves. We are the biggest source of energy in our universe. We do not realize this energy because of the many divisions that exist. At times, the lives of people exist in silos. These divisions reflect in the overall personality as well. The shift from silo to union is yoga. A proven way to experience a realization of oneness is yoga. I am reminded of the words of the great Gurudev Tagore, who said, and I quote, "The meaning of our self is not to be found in its separateness from God and others, but in the ceaseless realization of yoga of union," unquote. The mantra of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, which India has followed since ages, is now finding global acceptance. We all are praying for each other's well-being. If there are threats to humanity, yoga often gives us a way of holistic health. Yoga also gives us a happier way of life. I'm sure yoga will continue playing its preventive as well as positive role in healthcare of masses. साथियों, जब भारत ने यूनाइटेड नेशंस में अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस का प्रस्ताव रखा था, तो उसके पीछे यही भावना थी कि योग विज्ञान पूरे विश्व के लिए सुलभ हो। आज इस दिशा में भारत ने यूनाइटेड नेशंस WHO के साथ मिलकर एक और महत्वपूर्ण कदम उठाया है। अब विश्व को एम योगा ऐप की शक्ति मिलने जा रही है। इस ऐप में कॉमन योगा प्रोटोकॉल के आधार पर योग प्रशिक्षण के कई वीडियोस दुनिया की अलग अलग भाषाओं में उपलब्ध होंगे। ये आधुनिक टेक्नोलॉजी और प्राचीन विज्ञान के फ्यूजन का भी एक बेहतरीन उदाहरण है। मुझे पूरा विश्वास है एम योगा ऐप योग का विस्तार दुनिया भर में करने और वन वर्ल्ड वन हेल्थ के प्रयासों को सफल बनाने में बड़ी भूमिका निभाएगा। साथियों, गीता में कहा गया है, तम विद्या दुख संयोग वियोगम योग संगीतम, अर्थात दुखों से वियोग को, मुक्ति को ही योग कहते हैं। सबको साथ लेकर चलने वाली मानवता की ये योग यात्रा हमें ऐसे ही अनवरत आगे बढ़ानी है। चाहे कोई भी स्थान हो, कोई भी परिस्थिति हो, कोई भी आयु हो, हर एक के लिए योग के पास कोई न कोई समाधान जरूर है। आज विश्व में योग के प्रति जिज्ञासा रखने वालों की संख्या बहुत बढ़ रही है। देश विदेश में योग प्रतिष्ठानों की संख्या में भी वृद्धि हो रही है। ऐसे में योग का जो मूलभूत तत्व ज्ञान है, मूलभूत सिद्धांत है, उसको कायम रखते हुए योग जन जन तक पहुंचे, अविरत पहुंचे, निरंतर पहुंचे, ये कार्य आवश्यक है। और ये कार्य योग से जुड़े लोगों को, योग के आचार्यों को, योग के प्रचारकों को साथ मिलकर करना चाहिए। हमें खुद भी योग का संकल्प लेना है और अपनों को भी इस संकल्प से जोड़ना है। योग से सहयोग तक का ये मंत्र हमें एक नए भविष्य का मार्ग दिखाएगा, मानवता को सशक्त करेगा। इन्हीं शुभकामनाओं के साथ आज अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस पर पूरी मानव जात को, आप सभी को बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Welcome to the world of yoga. Let us start Yoga Sadhana with Chalana Kriyas or loosening practices to increase microcirculation. Neck exercises, forward and backward neck bending. Stand in an alert posture. Keep feet comfortably apart and your arms on the waist. Exhale and bend head forward slowly and try to touch the chin to the chest. Inhale, move the head as far back as is comfortable and come back with inhalation. Right and left neck bending. Exhale, bend the head slowly to the right. Bring the ear as close as possible to the shoulder. Inhale, bring the head to normal position. Exhale, bend the head to the left side. Inhale, bring the head up to normal position. Right and left twisting. Exhale, gently turn the head to the right side so that the chin is in line with the shoulder. Inhale, bring the head to the normal position. Exhale, turn the head to the left side. Inhale and bring the head to the normal position. Neck rotation. Bend the head forward, trying to touch the chin to the chest. Inhale. Slowly rotate the head clockwise. While coming down, exhale. Rotate the head in anti-clockwise direction. Feel the stretch around the neck and loosening up of the joints and muscles of the neck and release of tension in the neck. People with neck pain and spondylitis should do the practice gently. Shoulder movements. Feet together, make the body straight, the arms by the sides. Inhale. Raise both the arms sideways above your head with the palms outwards. Exhale and bring them down in the same manner. The arms must not touch the head when going up or the thighs when coming down. The palms must be open with the fingers together. Shoulder rotation. Stand erect. Raise both the arms. Place the fingers of the left hand on the left shoulder and the fingers of the right hand on the right shoulder. Full rotation of both the elbows in a circular manner. try to touch the elbows in front of the chest on the forward movement and touch the ears while moving up. Stretch the arm back in the backward movement and touch the sides of the trunk while coming down. Do the same anti-clockwise. And repeat 5 times. Practice of this Kriya makes the bones, muscles and nerves of the shoulder region healthy. These practices are helpful in cervical spondylitis and frozen shoulder. Trunk twisting. Keep the legs about 2 feet apart. Raise both the arms up to chest level with the palms facing each other. Exhale. Twist the body towards the right side so that the left palm touches the right shoulder. Come back with inhalation. Now exhale, twist the body towards the left side so that the right palm touches the left shoulder. Come back with inhalation. Repeat. Do slowly with breathing. Avoid this practice in case of vertebral and disc disorders and during menstruation. Relax in standing posture. Knee movements. Inhale. Lift your arms up at the shoulder level. Exhale. Bend the knees and bring down your body to the squatting position. Inhale and straighten the body. Repeat 2 more times. This practice strengthens the knees and hip joints. Avoid this in case suffering from acute arthritis. Exhale while bringing down the hands. Now, let us move to Yogasana. Tadasana. Tad means palm tree. Keep your feet 2 inches apart. Interlock the fingers and turn the wrist outwards. Inhale. Raise the arms up and bring them in line with the shoulders. Raise the heels off the floor and balance on the toes. Stay in this position for 10 to 15 seconds. This asana brings stability in the body, helps to clear up congestion of the spinal nerves, corrects faulty posture. Exhale, bring the heels down. Release the interlock of the fingers and bring the arms down parallel to the trunk and come back to a standing posture. Vrikshasana. Vriksh means tree. Stand with the feet 2 inches apart. Focus on a point in front. Exhale, bend the right leg and place the foot on the inside of the left thigh. The heel should be touching the perineum. Inhale and extend the arms up and join the palms. Stay in this position for 10 to 15 seconds and breathe normally. This improves neuromuscular coordination, endurance, and alertness. Avoid this practice in case of arthritis and obesity. Exhale and bring the arms and right foot down. And repeat the asana. Bend the left leg and place the foot on the right thigh. The heel should touch the perineum. Inhale. Extend the arms up and join the palms. Relax. Padhastasana. Pada means foot. Hasta means hand. Inhale slowly and raise the arms up. Stretch up the body from the waist. Exhale and bend forward until the entire palm rests on the ground. Maintain this final posture for 10 to 30 seconds. Those who have a stiff back should bend according to their capacity. Now, inhale. Come up slowly to the vertical position and stretch the arms above the head. Exhale and slowly return to the starting position in reverse order. Relax. Ardha Chakrasana. Support the back at the waist. Exhale. Drop the head backwards, stretch the neck muscles, and bend backwards from the lumbar region. Relax with normal breathing. Stay there for 10 to 30 seconds. Ardha Chakra makes the spine flexible and strengthens the spinal nerves and improves breathing capacity. Inhale and slowly come up and relax. Hypertensive patients shall bend with care. Trikonasana. Trikon means triangle. Stand with your feet comfortably apart. Slowly raise both the arms sideways till they are horizontal. Exhale. Slowly bend to the right side and place the right hand just behind the right foot. The left arm is straight up, in line with the right arm. Remain in this posture for 10 to 30 seconds with normal breathing. This prevents flat foot, strengthens the calf, thigh and waist muscles, makes the spine flexible. As you inhale, slowly come up. Repeat for the left side. Avoid this posture in case of slipped disc, sciatica, and after undergoing abdominal surgery. Do not go beyond your limits. Bhadrasana. Let us now get ready for sitting postures. Bhadrasana. Bhadra means firm. Sit erect with the legs stretched out straight in front. Keep the hands beside the hips. This is Dandasana. Now put the soles of your feet together. Exhale and clasp your hands together over your toes. Pull your heels as close as possible up to the perineum region. This is the final position. Stay here for some time. Bhadrasana keeps the body firm and stabilizes the mind. Now stretch your leg and come to Vishramasana. Avoid this practice in case of severe arthritis and sciatica. Vajrasana. Sit in Danda Asana. Fold your legs and sit on your heels. Keep the thighs close and big toes touching. Place the hands on the knees. The head and back should be straight. This is Vajrasana. Ardha Ushtrasana. Sit in Vajrasana. Get up on your knees. Place the hands on the waist with the fingers pointing downwards. Keep the elbows and shoulders parallel. Bend the head back and stretch the neck muscles. And bend the trunk backwards as much as possible. As you exhale, relax. Remain in this posture for 10 to 30 seconds with normal breathing. It helps to strengthen the back and neck muscles, relieves constipation and back pain. Return with inhalation. Sit in Vajrasana. Relax. Now we perform the full version of Ushtrasana. Sit in Vajrasana. Kneel down on the floor. Keep your thighs and feet together. Get up on your knees. Bring the knees and the feet a few inches apart. While inhaling, bend backwards. Place the right palm on the right heel and the left palm on the left heel. Be careful not to jerk the neck while bending backwards. Ushtrasana is extremely useful for defective eyesight. This is useful in relieving back pain and neck pain. It helps to reduce fat over the abdomen and hips. Those suffering from high blood pressure, heart disease and hernia should not practice this. Return with inhalation. Sit in Vajrasana. Relax. Shashankasana. Shashank means hare. Spread both the knees wide apart. Keep the toes touching. Keep the palms between the knees. Exhale and slowly stretch them full length. Bend forward and place the chin on the ground. Keep the arms parallel. Look in front and maintain the posture. This helps to reduce stress and anger. Inhale and come up. Exhale and come back to Vajrasana. Stretch your legs back to Vishramasana. Patients with osteoarthritis should do this with caution. Uttan Manduk Asana. The final position of Uttan Manduk Asana resembles an upright frog, hence the name. Sit in Vajra Asana. Spread both the knees wide apart while the toes remain together. Inhale. Raise both the arms. Then cross both arms behind the head and place the hands on the upper part of the opposite shoulders. Keep the back and neck straight. Maintain this position for a while. This asana is helpful in backache and cervical pain. It helps in improving diaphragmatic movement and helps to improve lung capacity. Persons with severe knee joint pain should not perform it. While coming back, slowly raise both the arms with inhalation. Bring back and bring the knees together as in the initial position. Vakrasana. Vakra means twisted. Bend the right leg and place the right foot beside the left knee. Bring the left arm around the right knee and place the palm beside the right foot. Exhale. Twist the body and neck to the right. Comfortably remain in this posture. Turn your head back. Take out your hands with exhalation. Stretch your legs. Now come back and relax in Vishramasana. This asana increases flexibility of the spine. It helps to overcome constipation, dyspepsia, and in the management of diabetes. Repeat the same on the other side. Turn your head back. take out your hands with exhalation. Stretch your legs. Now come back and relax in Vishramasana. Makarasana. Makara means crocodile. Lie down on your stomach with the feet wide apart, feet pointing outward. Rest your head on your hands. Relax. This is Makarasana. This asana is practiced for relaxation in all prone postures. It promotes relaxation of the lower back. Bhujangasana. Now let us be ready for prone postures. Bhujangasana. Bhujang means snake or cobra. Lie down on your stomach, rest your head on your hands and relax the body. Now join your legs and stretch your arms. Keep the forehead on the ground. Keep your palms beside the chest and raise the elbows. Inhale, lift the chin and chest up to the navel region. This is Bhujangasana. This asana is best for stress management. It also helps to manage backache and bronchial problems. Exhale. Rest your forehead on the ground and stretch your arms. Spread your legs. Place your palms and rest your head on the palms and relax. Shalabhasana. Shalabha means a locust. Lie down on your stomach. Now join your legs. Rest the chin on the floor. Keep both hands beside the body, palms facing upwards. Inhale. Raise the legs off the floor as much as you can without bending the knees. Extend the arms and legs well to ease the lift of the body off the floor. Stay in this position comfortably. This asana helps in sciatica and lower backache. It tones the hip muscles. Now exhale. Bring the legs down towards the floor. Take out your arms and rest on the floor. Cardiac patients should avoid this posture. Setubandhasana. Now we move to supine postures. Setubandhasana. Setubandh means formation of a bridge. Join your legs. Keep the arms beside the body. Bend both the legs at the knees and bring the heels near the buttocks. Hold both the ankles firmly. Inhale. Slowly raise your buttocks and trunk up as much as you can to form a bridge. Remain comfortably. This is the final position. This asana relieves depression and anxiety. It strengthens the lower back muscles. Now exhale. Slowly return to the original position and relax. Lie down on your back. Please note, women in advanced stages of pregnancy should not practice this asana. Uttan Padasana, raised feet posture. In this asana, the legs are raised upward in a supine position, hence the name. Lie comfortably on the ground with the legs stretched out. The hands should be placed by the sides. While inhaling, slowly raise both the legs without bending them at the knees and bring them to a 30-degree angle. Maintain this position with normal breathing. Exhale and slowly bring both the legs down and place them on the ground. It balances the navel center, Nabhi Manipura Chakra. Ardh Halasana, half plow posture. This posture is known as Ardh Halasana because in its final position, the body resembles half the shape of an Indian plow. Take a supine position. Keep the hands by the sides of the thighs, palms resting on the ground. Slowly raise your legs together without bending at the knees. First raise the legs up to 30 degrees, then further up to a 60-degree angle. Now slowly raise the legs to a 90-degree angle. This is the final position of the Ardh Halasana. The body from the hip to the shoulder should be kept straight. Then slowly bring the legs back to the ground without lifting the head. This is very beneficial for hypertensive patients, but needs to be practiced with care. Those who have lumbosacral or lower back pain should not perform this with both legs together. Pavan Muktasana. Bend both the knees and bring the thighs to the chest. Interlock the fingers and clasp the shin below the knee. Raise the head and shoulders. Try to touch the knees with the chin. This is Pavan Muktasana. This removes constipation, gives relief from flatulence, and tones up the back muscles and spinal nerves. Bring your head back. Exhale. Stretch your legs and relax. Avoid this practice in case of abdominal injuries, hernia, sciatica, and during pregnancy. Shavasana. Shav means the dead body. This asana is meant for complete relaxation. Lie down on your back with the arms and legs comfortably apart. Palms facing upward, eyes closed. Relax the whole body consciously. Become aware of natural breath and allow it to become rhythmic and slow. Remain in this position till you feel refreshed and relaxed. This asana helps relieve all kinds of tensions and gives rest to both the body and the mind. It is very beneficial in the management of stress and its consequences. Kapalabhati. And stimulates respiratory centers in the frontal brain. Sit in any meditative posture. Close the eyes and relax the whole body. Inhale deeply. Expand the chest. Expel the breath with forceful contractions of the abdominal muscles. Continue active exhalation and passive inhalation. Then take a deep breath, exhale slowly and relax. This is one round of Kapalabhati. Each round should be followed by deep breathing. Now do 2 more rounds. Kapalabhati purifies the frontal air sinuses, helps to overcome cough disorders. It is useful in treating colds, rhinitis, sinusitis, asthma, and bronchial infections. Please avoid this practice in case of cardiac conditions, high blood pressure, vertigo, migraine, stroke, hernia, and gastric ulcers. Pranayama, Nadi Shodhana, or Anulom Vilom Pranayama, is alternate breathing through the left and right nostrils. Sit in a meditative posture. Keep the spine straight and the head erect with eyes closed. Relax the body with a few deep breaths. Keep the left palm on the left knee in Jnana Mudra. The right hand should be in the Nasikagra Mudra. Place the right thumb on the right nostril. Breathe in from the left nostril. Close the left nostril. Exhale through the right nostril. Next, inhale through the right nostril. Close the right nostril and exhale through the left nostril. This is one round of Nadi Shodhana or Anulom Vilom Pranayam. Repeat for another 5 rounds. For beginners, the duration of inhalation and exhalation should be equal. Gradually make it 1:2. Inhalation, exhalation. The breath should be slow, steady, and controlled. The main purpose of this pranayama is to purify the principal channels of energy. This nourishes the whole body. It induces tranquility, helps to improve concentration. It increases vitality and lowers the level of stress and anxiety. It also elevates cough disorders. Shitali Pranayam. Sheet means cool. It also means calm and passionless. As the name indicates, this pranayam cools the mind-body system. Sit in the Padmasana or any other comfortable sitting posture. Place the hands on the knees in the Jnana Mudra or Anjali Mudra. Roll the tongue in from the sides to shape it as a tube. Inhale through this tube-shaped tongue. Fill the lungs with air to their maximum capacity and close the mouth. And then slowly exhale through the nostrils. Shitali Pranayam purifies the blood. It has a cooling effect on the body. It is beneficial for persons suffering from high blood pressure. It satisfies thirst and appeases hunger. It relieves indigestion and disorders caused by phlegm, cough, and bile. It is beneficial for the skin and the eyes. Those who are suffering from cold, cough, or tonsillitis should not do this pranayam. Bhramari Pranayama. Bhramara means a black bee. During the exhalation of this pranayam, the sound produced resembles the buzzing of a black bee. Inhale deeply through both nostrils. Exhale slowly in a controlled manner, making a deep, steady, humming sound as that of a black bee. This is one round of Bhramari. Repeat 2 more times. This is a great tranquilizer. It's found good in the management of stress-related disorders. Now do the Bhramari with Shanmukhi Mudra. Close your ears with your thumbs. Place the forefingers on your eyes, middle fingers on the nostrils, ring finger and small fingers on the lips. Open your nose and inhale through both nostrils. Exhale slowly in a controlled manner, making the deep humming sound of a black bee. It is a useful preparatory pranayam for concentration and meditation. Dhyan. Now, let us prepare for Dhyan. Dhyan or meditation is an act of continuous contemplation. Sit in any meditative posture. Keep your spine comfortably erect. Hold Jnana Mudra. Keep your palms facing upwards upon the thighs. Arms and shoulders should be loose and relaxed. Close your eyes and sit with a slightly upturned face. You need not concentrate. Just maintain a mild focus between the eyebrows and be conscious of your breath. Dhyan keeps the mind calm and quiet. It increases concentration, memory, clarity of thought, and willpower. It rejuvenates the whole body and mind, giving them proper rest. It helps to develop positive emotions. Meditation leads to self-realization. Continue to be in this state of Dhyan. Let us now take Sankalp.
I commit to make myself into a healthy, peaceful, joyful and loving human being. Through every action of mine, I will strive to create a peaceful and loving atmosphere around me. I strive to break the limitations of who I am right now and include the entire world as my own. I recognize the kinship of my own life with every other life. I recognize the unity of all there is.
End the yoga practice session with Shanti Path or universal prayer.
सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति।